Go back more than 100 years to Henry Ford and the first modern assembly line. Each worker performs one task. Each task builds upon the next, and a new car, a Model T, is built in less than an hour. The entire process, efficient and effective. It changed manufacturing forever.
But this is local government. It's not manufacturing. I mean, county workers are not an assembly line. So what's the connection here? Well, the connection is that collective impact.
You see, on that assembly line, different people work toward a common objective, building a car. If only one person tried to build the entire car, it would be inefficient and make the car very expensive. Nobody could afford to buy it.
In San Diego County, that collective impact involves different departments working toward common objectives. But as mentioned, we also welcome those external partners, private industry, community groups, experts in many fields outside government.
Instead of building cars, collective impact helps build our vision of Live Well San Diego, our goal of improving the health and safety of the entire region so we can all be thriving.
The County of San Diego is about the size of Connecticut, 4,200 square miles and about 3.3 million people. County government spends $5 billion a year. That's $5 billion from you. How we spend your money is what separates us from the others.
Everything we do fits into at least one of our 4 strategic initiatives: healthy families, safe communities, sustainable environments, and operational excellence. Efficiently getting services to people is what matters most. Mental health, law enforcement, helping the homeless, our veterans, civic engagement, promoting volunteering, environmental stewardship, helping kids stay away from crime as adults, just some of the many examples where collective impact gets results.
Government can't do it alone because we're not at all places. And furthermore, it's about neighborhoods. And we're one major aspect of that, but it's a lot of aspects of people's lives. And this requires other organizations and the citizens themselves coming together for a common framework, common cause, coming together to improving health and safety so people can thrive. That's what Live Well San Diego is about.
We had to entice them to come into the program. It's not as if we said, oh, come on in, and they readily came on in. A lot of them were very suspect.
Chip and I thought that, oh, this is just too good to be true, that nobody would pay our rent. The hardest thing for me is alcoholism, because I've had times in sobriety before, but this time it seems different only because I'm alone and I'm older and so much to be grateful for. I mean, the sofa that I'm sitting on, Project 25 bought for me.
These are individuals who would have never thought they would have had an apartment because they have been on the streets for so very, very long, and there were different issues at play. And now you see them smiling in their apartments. It helps the county as far as their services are concerned, in order to be using them effectively, and in order not to be spending money needlessly, so that they can use those services more appropriately. You know, no one's beyond hope. Everyone's salvageable. Everyone can be helped. The only thing is you have to be persistent.
They did more than just get me to medical. They opened their heart to me. They opened my soul so I could live and grow again and have a reason to go on.
Getting services to people is a big reason for opening our Live Well Center in Escondido, a building that consolidates all health, social services, and services for veterans in Inland North County. A similar facility will open soon in National City, and one in Oceanside will open in 2018. County employees worked with the Regional Task Force on the homeless and the annual Count of Homeless all over the region. 30% of all volunteers in the homeless count were county employees. We also launched Project One for All, an effort to collaborate regionally on the best ways to get the severely mentally ill off the streets, into housing, and into treatment. We've expanded the number of our Psychiatric Emergency Response Teams, or PERT, to 40 such teams. These help law enforcement and community deal with calls involving a mental health crisis. We'll continue to work with community partners to reach vulnerable populations and help address the needs of those dealing with Alzheimer's. Our respite care program helps Alzheimer's caregivers deal with the disease, providing access to social workers, helping with short-term breaks and care coordination. We'll continue working with community partners to make sure services are promoted and available. This past fiscal year, we added dozens more Live Well San Diego partners and now total nearly 200, working to spread access to healthy foods and helping people quit smoking.
San Diego has a reputation of being extremely collaborative, especially in our criminal justice and juvenile justice programs. So we work very closely with our community partners, the juvenile justice and criminal justice agencies, and other non-governmental agencies to make sure that we achieve the best possible outcomes for the youth and adults that are involved in our criminal justice and juvenile justice systems.
8th grade is where it started to get really bad, like just doing drugs every day.
Isaac was really depressed. He was in a crisis home. He was suicidal.
Woke up one day and decided that I was going to do whatever I wanted to do, no matter who said no, and I got in trouble.
Alternatives to detention is essentially a variety of strategies that can be used to divert kids from further justice involvement.
So basically what SMART goals are is goals that you're going to try to accomplish. So
he's in a leadership program, which has helped him be a leader now, not a little follower like he was being for a while.
This was a true partnership of everybody. The district attorney and the public defender and the courts and probation and police weren't getting any money out of it, but they all wanted to see it work.
Once I'm completely done and my case is dropped and everything, I'm not going to be doing the same things as I was before.
He's a smart kid, and I think he deserves to have a second chance at things.
I'm just going to keep moving forward with my life.
To help them look ahead, young people in custody and supervised by probation are screened and given mental health therapies they need to build a positive future. We'll work collectively with schools, community-based programs, law enforcement, and families to keep kids out of custody. Instead, we'll support them in the community with programs like Alternatives to Detention, Restorative Justice, and Diversion to address their needs and help them change their behavior.
The sheriff, DA, probation, public defender, Health and Human Services all work together to make sure adults and juveniles with mental health issues who are in jail are linked to services when they're released, greatly increasing the chances of success when they get out. The DA's office trained law enforcement personnel and others on ways to spot elder abuse. The DA, Sheriff, Health and Human Services worked with the community to help educate schools, libraries, even hotels on ways to spot human trafficking, a real growing problem.
But safety involves more than addressing crime. It's also fire protection. We added new paramedic fire engines in the backcountry, a third county firefighting helicopter. We'll soon start a major upgrade to our regional communications system. And we'll soon start construction on a state-of-the-art crime lab in the County Operations Center complex in Kearney Mesa.
When we look to build a new facility, we want to take into account all the needs of the department, where their client base is within the community, and the stakeholders that may be nonprofits or other contracts or community organizations that deal with the county, to come up with the best solution that's going to provide the best services in the right part of town with the right quality of building that's going to project a positive public image that says the county cares about you and the services it provides.
If you look at a map of the county, in an ideal world, the amount spent on services to help people would be spread evenly throughout the populated areas.
But in the real world, it's simply not so. See, there are certain parts of the county that simply struggle more than others. There are more health issues, more areas affected by crime. People may feel less engaged in their community. And if you leave that alone, if you simply walk away, that disproportionality snowballs. The idea is to get ahead of the curve, get in the community, and help bring about positive change.
Let's go! We're here at the Logan Heights Boys and Girls Club teaching a prevention education program for human trafficking called Girls Only. Today our topic was emotions and feelings. So we started with a game, and they were able to throw a ball around and answer questions around the ball related to their emotions and feelings.
The reason I come here is to help others so they don't fall in the wrong footsteps.
We created the Girls Only program because we saw a gap for girls in at-risk areas in our community. We saw a gap that needed our girls to learn how to get the tools to prevent them from becoming victims of exploitation, domestic violence, and child abuse.
We call these areas Live Well communities. Strengthening families is an important part of reducing disproportionality. We'll continue working with external partners to help vulnerable populations and increase kids' safety. Health and Human Services will keep working with foster youth about to age out of the system, helping them with education, employment, and housing to make a successful transition into adulthood. We work with seniors to help them become self-sufficient so they won't need help with things like nutrition assistance. Our nurse-family partnership connects families to CalFresh, and we place eligibility workers at local food banks to make sure people know they have access to health coverage and nutrition assistance. Our farm and home advisor leads nutrition classes in English and Arabic, helping the refugee community learn about fitness, fruits and vegetables, and how to shop on a limited budget.
We have the motto here at the county building that talks about good government demands the intelligent interest of every citizen. And at the core of what we're providing, it's services to the community members that we're serving. And the best way for us to keep engaged with our community members is to have their feedback and input and their interaction with us on a daily basis with what we're doing.
All right. Tonight we have our monthly planning group meeting, and we discuss all the projects that are proposed for our community. Then we as a planning group see if that development or plan fits our community character. My role is the facilitator. I've lived in this community and have my business in this community for over 30 years. What I get out of it is the satisfaction of keeping Ramona what we all love about Ramona. And it's a rural community. It's an awesome place to raise a family and to live. So there's great satisfaction in that, knowing that you've had a hand in that or say in that, and that I've made it great for my grandkids.
Being a part of a community planning group is not the only way to feel connected to your community. There are many other ways. You can volunteer to work at a county park or maybe a library branch a few hours a month. Maybe it's the simple act of voting in an election that keeps you connected. This is a presidential election year, of course. That civic engagement is a key component of Live Well San Diego. When we feel connected to our community, our outlook becomes brighter. We feel safer. We feel like we want to get out, get exercise, and be healthy.
The county has a very large volunteer program. Tens of thousands of people volunteer in many departments, from parks to airports, law enforcement to libraries, saving the county millions of dollars each year. Health and Human Services trained another 15 facilitators for resident leadership academies. These academies work to solve problems at the neighborhood level. Some of those neighborhoods may have a farmer's market. County Ag Weights and Measures inspects farmers markets to make sure what you buy is good quality. County parks help people get outside and get active. We manage 50,000 acres of parkland. We've built new park facilities like ball fields and use smart irrigation and synthetic turf to save millions of gallons of water each year. We're adding more electric vehicle charging stations. Soon we'll have 11. Our Department of Ag Weights and Measures has a network of traps looking for pests that can threaten our nearly $2 billion ag industry. Environmental Health traps mosquitoes that could be carrying diseases such as West Nile virus and Zika. And we attack from the ground and air, going after mosquito larvae, and we'll continue testing beach water quality to make sure it is safe for swimmers.
Speaking of water, in a drought, wasted H2O is not exactly A-OK. Our Drought Response Action Plan covers everything from irrigation changes at parks to plumbing retrofits inside county buildings, saving a whopping 115 million gallons of water every year. These changes are incorporated into the designs of our newer buildings, as well as ones that are on the way.
Like our brand new Alpine Library branch opening in a few days, a zero net energy building. The energy to run it is produced on site. Same with our new Imperial Beach Library, which will open in November. We finished a big new parking garage in Little Italy for county employees by day and Little Italy visitors on nights and weekends. We finished Phase 2 of the Las Colinas Detention Facility in Santee on time and under budget. Days from now, a new Live Well Center opens in National City. Health and Human Services, Child Support, and other departments will work with neighborhood partners to offer services closer to home, being in the community where the need is greatest.
Our greatest responsibility is to ensure that we have the resources available, not just today, but long into the future, so that we can ensure we're providing the services that our residents rely upon us for every day. It's what we do, it's how we operate, it's being fiscally smart so that we're here for our residents when they need us the most.
Working together inside the organization and partnering outside the organization. Efficient, responsive. That's collective impact.